Today's episode of The Read Pile is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
I'm Elle. Why are you wearing a hat?
And I am the Sussman, Rick Sussman, and you are watching The Read Pile.
Aw, you forgot to buy hair gel. You look ridiculous. It's kind of fluffy. It's nice. It's the week of April 22nd. Rick. Some comic book news.
I want my hat back.
Nope, it's mine. It's mine now.
Yes, so, okay. Alright. Hair gel notwithstanding. So, pretty much everybody on the internet has had a chance to weigh in on the two big news stories. Well, there's a new one literally as of about 3 hours ago. We'll talk about that. So, let's do this quick, because we have a ton of reviews to get to as well. So, Elle, the Angry Nerdgirl, you're pretty much the only person who hasn't been reported on having heard or seen the Batman v Superman Dawn of trailer. So, you're the Angry Nerdgirl. Do you have something you'd like to say after watching the trailer? Since I guess you'll be like the bookend.
I think I'm the last person on the internet that hasn't said something yet.
That's what I've been getting at, but
yeah. Yeah. So, it's crap.
Oh. Well, that's blunt and to the point.
It is! And I'm going to tell you why. Because just like everybody else, they're comparing it to Star Wars. And you know why we're comparing it? Not that there's complete, relation or anything like that. It's because they came out at like the same time. So you're going to see the highs and you got the lows. Well, guess what? I'm sorry, that one's so low it's in the dumpster.
Are you saying it's Han Solo? Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, first trailer.
Gutter, but,
it's Han Solo. It's in the gutter. All right.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's.
Well, why specifically? Everyone has been trashing it, and some people have been defending it. Why did you not like it?
Okay.
Try and surmise it, because we do have to get to one other story too.
So what I'm getting to is, yes, you can compare the two, because here's the thing. You and I, we are of the age that we remember being raised on Star Wars. We saw the first ones and we were excited, and we have been waiting for the afterwards. We got to see the the newer ones,
and
the
they
prequels
were
ish and everything, and so we are excited to see this. This is what we have been waiting for. This is what we want to see.
Episode 7 is going to be a big deal, yeah.
They knew what to do. They showed us the hand.
You see Luke's hand. You see R2. Yeah.
Yes, you get to see little hints in this, and then of course you get to. Oh, it's just. It was perfectly done without showing you too much. They were telling you, hey, guess what? And then that's all they had to do. And you were excited, and you knew it.
And so why not? Why didn't you feel that way in Batman v Superman?
Now that's the thing.
Okay.
Same concept. We've been reading comics. We have seen, the conflict between Superman and Batman.
Yeah.
We get it. Yes, sometimes they even fight, but they're still friends, or they're just full on fighting. We've seen it in every possible way, in all the different writings and this and that. And this trailer just crapped on all of it. And
let me
because they didn't even really show a conflict. It is a year away.
It is a year
away.
A little
bit. The only hint of like an actual conflict was Batman said, "Do you bleed?" And you could barely hear it.
All right.
And
so hold on.
So you didn't get any like little quick things of action.
I think the bigger issue.
It's nothing.
Okay, all right, Angry Nerdgirl, calm down.
I'm upset.
When are you not? That's your secret. You're always angry. I know. I think the bigger issue is that this was and I said this on Those Two Jerks podcast, so you might agree, you don't get but one chance to make a first impression.
It's true.
And this was that first impression, and it was very, I believe the term we both used, honestly, it was very meh. So, we have another story though. I'm going to pull out the iPhone of infinite justice here, because I need to quote things. Okay, here we go. DC Entertainment and Warner Brothers are going to launch a new concept called the DC Universe, or DC Superhero Universe for Girls. Basically taking the major female characters and setting them in a modern teen continuity for 6 to 12-year-old young girls. You're talking about Wonder Woman, you're talking about Batgirl, you're talking about Harley Quinn, Supergirl, somebody named Bumblebee who I don't know. I think that's cool. I have no problem with that. They already have the young readers. You know, you could go into any local comic book shop and find the young reader section. I think that's neat. People are heralding this as a big deal. I think it's a deal. I don't think it's a big deal. But I like when a company evolves, and DC is, if nothing else, they've always been kid-friendly.
Yeah, I think it's a really great idea. They are not trying to change they're not trying to change any stories. They're adding a selection for a particular age range. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're not trying to mess with your character. They're not trying to mess with anything. They are just creating a world for a select group. I think that's fantastic. I think it's great. Now, of course, my opinion can easily change with the things that they write about, whatever. But I don't have kids. I'm never going to really know.
Yeah, it's
and
not really
I'm not going to read it
intended for
myself.
us.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's going to be great for what it is. So I don't understand why anybody would be upset, because if you don't like it and you think it's stupid or it's silly or it's immature or it's just there's no adventure to it, it's probably not for you then. Don't read it. Stick to your comics. You'll be fine. This is for a very particular select group. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really good idea. It's going to bring a lot more girls into reading. It's going to help kids read. It's going to help them bring them just into the superhero world. They're going to have more to connect with the characters. And a particular age group that they're trying to direct this towards, they need that. Yeah. They need some things that they can relate to. So I hope that they choose really good topics that are going to be easy to write with, but I can't imagine that they're not going to. They're not going to write about stupid things.
It's probably going to be like watching a Saturday morning cartoon. They might touch on some heavy stuff, but mostly it's probably going to be really light.
Yeah,
which is fine.
They're not here to blow your mind and alter your world, but they're going to touch base on little things to make these girls feel like they're comfortable and be like, hey, you know what, I think I can talk about this.
Yeah, to introduce a whole new generation to comics.
Yeah, I think I'm sure a lot of it's just going to be fun, too. And it's going to be the kind of fun that girls in that age are going to want to read about. They're not going to want to read about the demented world of Batman that I love, but I am of the age where I've gone through the silly stuff.
I feel this might be a perfect segue. I think it's time that we review our books. Speaking of demented things that she really enjoys.
Alright.
Alright, let's do it.
Time for comic book reviews. I'm going to start with the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. So we are on, what issue is issue 4. Alright. So it's leading up to her big fight with Galactus. I want to be disappointed, but at the same time, I can't really be disappointed because, well, the last 3 issues I'm talking about how it's kooky fun, blah blah blah, you know, it's like my Harley for, you know, good girls in the Marvel Universe. And so I can't be with the outcome that this big battle became. And I can't be, I want to be upset, but I can't be, because I would sound stupid to say, oh, I was really highly disappointed. It is what it is. And being that it was a battle with Squirrel Girl, it was pretty good. It was her. It was that personality. It was the outcome that was to be. And it was pretty funny. And of course she has to deal with her secret identity, and it's a nice little ending to it all. So we'll see where the story continues. now. Wonder Woman. But Convergence. So not Wonder Woman, but it's the Convergence. I'm really trying to get on board with this whole idea, and basically what I'm telling myself to get through this is that, hey, there are little side stories, and guess what? You don't need to read everybody's. You want to read from the view of the characters you like, and that's what's going to help me. And so I've chosen some already, and Wonder Woman is this week's, and I got through it. I did. I really did. It's not Wonder Woman. But I will defend this. She can't be herself right now because if you've read any of them, you get it. The superheroes don't have their powers with the dome over the cities. Okay? If you don't know that already, I'm sorry. You're starting to run behind and you need to catch up. So she can't be herself. I'm going to forgive that. So I'm going to definitely read the next one, but right now I am disappointed because I don't know. Like I said, I'm still trying to get on board with all of this, and I'm trying to have an open mind, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trucking. I'm going to move on to the next one too. Here we go. Batman, Arkham Knight, sorry. Apologize. Oh my god. Please don't burn the internet. So, issue 3. We are continuing in the world of no Joker. But Joker is still technically here because he is effing things up left and right. Because that's what he does. And I'm still up in the air about if he's really gone or not. And Harley's just, she's gone. I mean, you thought she was crazy. She's gone demented, not funny anymore crazy. And she's just decided, you know what, I'm going to take things in my own hands. Even Batman makes a comment about how she's not Harley. There's something going on, and he's used to her being the one attached to Joker's hip. And now she's on her own, doing her own thing, and it's pretty crazy. And now we're gonna have somebody else that's involved with their shenanigans, and that's gonna be fun. It's always fun with him. And you wanna know who it is, you need to read. But moving on, pick of the week.
Called it!
Ah, come on, people. Yes, it is true. Apparently this was already picked out for me.
Preordained.
Right? I'm starting to think people maybe know me, and I don't like that because I like to have a hidden agenda, you know, and I just want to pretend that you don't know me fully, but... Issue 9. We are continuing in the afterlife, and it's getting kind of brutal. There's some stuff going down. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. There is a war that is about to just explode, and the things that are going on, oh, it is insane. It's pretty brutal, and I'm pretty excited about finally starting to see more go on. I mean, so far we've been learning about this afterlife. We've been learning about who is who and kind of what's going on, what has been going on, and it's starting to really get to the point where now things are gonna clash and it's going to explode. And I think it's gonna be fun because I like this little world. I like this version of the afterlife. It's fun and it's a little demented, but I like it. And I will continue to read. And if you're not reading, then you are very, very silly. But in the meantime, let's see what Rick has to say.
Well, as you can see, the awesome hat of cool is back on my head. We're not going to talk about why I didn't get any Hair gel. Anyway, let's move on. I have 5 books to review, one of which was from last week. We mentioned last week we didn't get Spawn 251. It showed up now. It is Spawn 251. It's not going to get a graphic, but it does warrant a review because it's really good. As you guys remember, when I read Spawn Resurrection, I was 190 issues removed from having last read Spawn. So now I am back to reading Spawn, and I got to admit, Paul Jenkins really has a good voice for the character. It's really well done, and I really enjoy this new version of Al Simmons. Plus, Mike is in there, and he's kind of cool. Let's get to some reviews for this week, though. Starting with Satellite Sam! Ba-dam-bow. We mentioned on the last review that Satellite Sam is coming to an end, and there's nothing particularly wrong with terminal books. I actually very much enjoy them. I like books that have a beginning, middle, and an end and don't necessarily go on ad infinitum. It's nice to know that sometimes your stories do come to a conclusion. And as we're getting closer to the last issue of Satellite Sam, I can tell you that the story is really starting to hit like warp speed. We now know who the killer is. We know how Michael, I realize his name's Michael as well, how his dad died. We know all of these things. We know why it happened. We know how it happened. There's just 1 or 2 issues left to get the final resolution of the story. But it's been a fun journey, and it's been a really interesting take on the world of like 1950s television. I feel sort of inadvertently that I really enjoyed this perhaps a little bit more than I should have, because I just watched all of Mad Men on AMC literally in the last 2 weeks. So I've been very 1950s mindset. But let's move on into the future, and the future is now with Lazarus. Oh, Lazarus. Oh. Actually, this week was kind of like, it was interesting because a lot of my books all were like, okay, here's the big reveal, here's the big reveal, here's the big reveal. We got massive amounts of reveals in Satellite Sam, and we're getting a ton of good reveals from Lazarus as well. We're learning why the world is devastated the way it is. We're being led, Greg Rucka is sort of peeling back more of the pages and letting us see the universe as it is, as it stands. I love this book. If you're looking for like a future gritty, post-utopian kind of world that isn't your standard zombie fare or your apocalypse, what have you, this is a really great book. I've been trying to get everybody to read Lazarus since we started the read pile, and I will continue to do so. It is a fabulous, fabulous book. Coming in at just not quite my pick of the week this week, but very close all the same, because it's always there anyway, is Choo! Choo number 48, featuring the revelation that in issue 60, at least 3 of the main characters will still be around. I love that book. Do you really need me to sit here and explain to you why Choo is such a great read? It's funny. The background panels are funny. Layman and Gilroy have such a great rapport together as a team. I want them to draw any and all books. It's just good stuff. If you're not into Choo, if you're looking for a long-term story as opposed to Lazarus, which is only like 16 issues, Choo is almost at 50, man, you can't go wrong. Pick up Volume 1. It's got to be at your local comic shop if they're worth their weight in any amount of salt. It's really good. But it's time to spin up the graphic, because it's time for our pick of the week. I'm just going to get right to it. Invisible Republic number 2! Oh my god! Love this book! I am the son of 2 newspaper reporters. I've mentioned this on a few occasions. This book has all of that reportingness, all of the newspaperings. Somebody who wrote this book, or draws this book, or is a part of this book, or edits this book in any form, must have had some kind of newspaper experience as a writer or an editor or a reporter, something. Because the 2 stories that are happening synonymously, we have the one in the present and the one in the past that's being reported on. The stuff that happens in the present is so what it's like to be a reporter. Granted, it takes place in a distant future, but you still have everything that makes a reporter in there. You've got a guy who just wants his story to get out. You've got a guy who is so hell-bent on getting his knowledge to the masses because he feels it's important that he'll do anything, and he doesn't care about being killed. It's not even a worry of his. If he dies getting his story out, then so be it. You can actually see this in the Daredevil TV series with Ben Urich's character, how he's willing to just die for his story. It really doesn't matter. Well, Invisible Republic has that same element, and that is certainly one of the main reasons why it was my pick of the week. For you, our loyal followers of The Read Pile, we have an awesome offer from Audible.com. Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their awesome service. You can download some really great books like The Hobbit, the unabridged version from Tolkien. You can download Divergent, Lean In, lots of great stuff to check out. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. Again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia for your free audiobook.
That's this week for The Read Pile. Rick,
Ah!
what do we got going on?
Ah!
And your hat smells, you can definitely just keep it.
I believe I need that sash right over there. If you could hand that to me, please. Oh, yeah, come on. Here we go. Yeah. Ah, yeah. It is that time again, folks. The mayor shall return. I don't know if you saw or not, but we had a meeting of Team Good Brother, the local NXT contingent. Myself, Simon Gotch, our good friend, Sawyer Fulton, Jason Ayers, and a couple other dudes were all at the same local comic bookery together. We were all just chilling, Mayor of NXT style. Oh, you're impressed. You can tell them you're impressed. Elle. You can't just always walk away. So, that's it for the Read Pile, guys. We'll see you next week. You slammed the door, too. What day is today? It's the 22nd. Leela's birthday. What a great day for a birthday.
Let's all have some cake. And it smells like one.